Okay, here's your Saturday 4 p.m. weather briefing. This storm system is unfolding pretty much exactly as anticipated. We're still looking for significant snow across all of southern Minnesota, including Minneapolis, St. Paul, so the Twin Cities Metro, I-90 corridor, I-94 corridor in Minnesota, and then traveling east into Wisconsin. So Eau Claire and much of southern and central Wisconsin is going to receive an accumulating snow out of this. One thing I wanted to show you is a couple of things, actually. We're going to look at the infrared satellite. And one thing I wanted to show you on this infrared satellite is that this storm system is still, at least the main piece of energy, is still far to the west of us. It's over northeastern Montana right now. You can probably see it's a little bit of a curl in the infrared cloud cover here over northeastern Montana. This is the actual disturbance that is going to be moving through the Dakotas and Minnesota overnight, and that's going to create the burst of snow later tonight and tomorrow morning over the region. Right now, you can see at least a little bit of enhancement to the cloud cover over southern Minnesota. That's creating the light snow that we've been receiving down there. But this is just basically overrunning light snow. This is where warm air runs over the cold dome of air over in the Midwest, creating some snow. And of course, there's been several inches of snow down there on the I-90 corridor as you head from Albert Lea on west. And that's the reason why they're going to get a little bit more snow out of this, is because it's been snowing there throughout much of the day so far. But again, we're waiting for this disturbance in Montana to move east through Minnesota and Wisconsin, and that will happen overnight tonight and through the day tomorrow. That's why we expect at least the bulk of the snow to fall after midnight tonight. Radar summary from the Twin Cities confirms that snow has been falling all afternoon now over southern Minnesota. This green and blue area where these echoes are a little more heavier now shows that snow has been falling at a pretty decent clip from about Mankato and Albert Lea, and even in Rochester on west throughout much of southwestern Minnesota. If we zoom out, you can see that that band of snow extends well east into eastern Iowa and northern Illinois now. And then, of course, it's developing further back now west into eastern South Dakota. And then if we were to look further west into western South Dakota, and if we had better radar coverage out there, you'd be able to see that this band of snow extends all the way into eastern Montana. And this band of snow, this area of snow here in South Dakota and southern North Dakota, will increase in intensity as it moves east into southern Minnesota and Wisconsin overnight tonight and tomorrow morning. Now that is confirmed when we look at the HRRR computer guidance. This is a good short-term guidance. Anyway, it's showing that band of snow right now over southern Minnesota, eastern Iowa, and northern Illinois now. That band of snow stays in place for several hours. In fact, it even becomes a little bit heavier here in southern Minnesota as we head towards midnight. You can see not real heavy snow, but probably a moderate intensity snow over much of southern Minnesota. And that actually starts to creep into the Twin Cities, and especially the southern Twin Cities Metro by midnight tonight. Then as we go through the overnight hours, that snowfall just stays in place, although it is more of a light to moderate variety snowfall, so not heavy snowfall, but it stays in place throughout the overnight period and into tomorrow morning. This is the expected radar at about 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Still quite a bit of light snow over all of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and northeastern Iowa. So no doubt we're going to have about a 12 to perhaps almost 18-hour length snowfall here, not only in the Twin Cities, but Eau Claire, Rochester, Albert Lea, the I-90 corridor, the I-94 corridor, all expecting significant snow by noon tomorrow. Now, this is also from the HRR computer model, again, a very good short-term computer model showing that significant snow will fall over basically all of southern Minnesota and central Minnesota, stretching from about St. Cloud and Pine City on south. You can see a fairly decent contrast or a difference in snow. The gradient across the metro, we deal with this all the time, snow gradients, but the gradient across the metro may be fairly impressive, ranging from about 7 to 8 inches of snow down in Dakota and Scott County to about, probably 3 to 4 inches of snow up in northern Anoka County. So about a 4-inch spread in snow totals expected by approximately about 9 a.m. tomorrow morning across the Twin Cities metro. But in general, in the Twin Cities, a solid 3 to 7 inch snowfall is expected. And then, of course, a little bit heavier amounts as you get down to I-90 corridor, where I'm expecting 6 to 8 inches of snow at least by about 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So lots going on, and we definitely need to keep an eye on this. Snow totals could get a little bit heavier if the snow intensifies as we go through the night. So that's something I'm going to be keeping an eye on, is whether this snow system intensifies at all, because if it does, we would then have to raise the totals. Of course, you guys have seen this already, but the snow totals and what I'm expecting is a good solid 6 to 8 inch snow across southern Minnesota, from about the southern Twin Cities on south into northeastern Iowa, and then a solid 4 to 6 inch snow band from the I-94 corridor on south, and then around that 2 to 4 inches of snow. The timing graph, I think this is the first time that I've actually showed you guys a timing graph, maybe the second time, but it's good that we go over this now. Here's the timing graph, and you can see the snow is expected to begin in earnest at Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport probably within the next hour or two. And then we'll ramp it up into the evening, where it will be snowing at about 1/4 to 1/2 inch an hour throughout the evening at Twin Cities International Airport. And then we really get into the significant snow after midnight. So from about 2 a.m. to about 8 a.m. tomorrow morning is when I'm expecting the most significant snow at Twin Cities International. And then it tapers throughout the morning so that it ends by early afternoon. And of course, by then, we can expect about 5, 6 inches of snow, maybe even a little bit more at Minneapolis-St. Paul International. Well, we'll keep an eye on this and give you updates as we go through the night and into tomorrow morning. Take care.